We're just waiting for a few more virtual attendees to hop on. So if you're from our Fort Lauderdale office, good to see everyone. I think one of you is running late. In the meantime, I just want to get any extra appointments that you set up when you left, like someone who called you back, if you called people, or in this morning. And remember, even if it doesn't change from yesterday, that's okay, because we're going to have a whole slew of sessions today. Even if you're watching this online, we'll have a big phone jam, like a mini phone jam right after this to get a hold of the morning ones. Okay, so we'll do that. And then every single break, this is really important for everyone watching this. If you're here early for this workshop, it means you want to be a 10K high flyer. It means you want to go for a 10K fast start. So part of the key is always hustling to have appointments. I think that's a big part of it. So every break today, last week's training group killed it. So we had this session, and then right after for like an hour and 15 minutes, they booked another 3 to 5 each. And then every break, they booked like one or two. And throughout the day, by the time we got out of training, everyone was fully booked. Okay, so we'll do the same thing today. Okay, so we'll start. Give me about 60 seconds. We'll start. So you guys want to have notebooks and pens ready? And I'm going to go around and ask for extra appointments. I'll use a different color here. Okay, I'm going pink. Okay, and you just let me know what the number is. So Leon, any extra appointments from last night? 4 more. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. 1, 2, we'll go 3, 4. Okay, Alicia? 1 more. 1 more. Okay. I'm trying to think of a name. Nini? Can I call you? No, you don't want that. Shoni. Okay. Sahara? I have 2. 2 more. Okay. Jordan? Oh, Jordan's coming. Laura? 0. 0. Okay. Keaton? Okay. So Piero? 3. Okay. And then Cheryl's on her way. Okay. Sounds good. Let me get things rolling. Beautiful. Hey, we're broadcasted live across multiple counties in Florida. We've got Boca Raton. Let me say hi, Boca Raton over there. There we go. Welcome. You're right up the street. I'm sure we'll do a joint meeting pretty soon, and we'll see you. So nice to have you on board. Is that San Juan? Yeah, there we go. And then there's San Juan, Puerto Rico. We have Mayoez, Puerto Rico, and we have the beautiful and tropical South Palm Beach area with Trent. Okay, we have a couple of people hopping on, so we're just going to get rolling. First of all, I just want to say that it's really cool to see people making the effort to come in a little bit earlier. I was talking to one of you earlier. If you're an athlete, this is how your whole life since probably 8 years old is like this, going to practices before people go to school, and you guys know how that is. I think it's great, but I also want to give you a lot of confidence of why coming in early for this meeting is going to make a big difference. When I was in college, you guys know I'm from Baltimore. I went to University of Maryland, College Park. Go Terps. You guys know that? Go Terps? No? Okay. There's not much to celebrate recently. It's okay. But here's what I will say. I had this big class, and I went from, having a class of about 15 to 20 all boys in the class for high school to the big state school. So I would have a lecture with 250 people at a time. And I had this one class, physics 221, and Dr. Bergat was the name of the professor. And it was the weed out class for pre-med. So it was the hardest class on purpose, like 3 classes that were supposed to crush you so that you didn't want to be a doctor, and they had filtered out. You guys know that. So he had this review session, and he said it on the worst possible time. It was Friday at like 5, 6 p.m. before everyone was trying to pregame and go out and have fun. And everyone rolled their eyes, and he said, but I promise you it'll be worth your time. I promise you if you come early, you'll do better on the exam. And everyone kind of said, and like 250. How many would you imagine showed up on Friday at 5 or 6? 2. Out of 250.
70.
You're nice. Ready? There's like 20 to 30 of us. Okay, and we were all dressed ready to go out. We were ready. And long story short, he went in and gave this whole spiel on how physics is fun. He went on how you should learn, and he went on 2 tangents. He said, learning on your own time is going to make you better than just learning when you have to. So thanks for being here. And then number 2, he slid the whiteboard or chalkboard. I'm that old chalkboard, and it was 3 really complicated problems. And we spent an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. Say it again.
They were on the exam.
It was the exam. Oh. So we went through it, and he said, "You're going to have a great exam Monday." They winked, and we were like, and no one thought anything of it until we opened up the exam on Monday, and we went. Right. So let's say you went to the review. It was like this. Right. So we knew, and it paid off. Okay. That's exactly what this 10K workshop is. So first of all, I want to welcome our officers chiming in. And even if you can't read the handwriting and see it through the video, I'm just going to review. These are all the things you can get from going through and going for a 10K fast start. So if you want to put a new sheet of notes, and even though you've written this down in my office, let's do this again for retaining. Fast start. Okay, you can write down fast start equals your first 10 days. And your manager may have covered this, but fast start is equal to your first 10 days, and your whole training is about 10 days. So you're about to finish your initial launch today. You'll start making sales and money. You'll start hitting promotions tonight. In fact, I'm excited to hear some of you when you hit a promotion, you'll get my cell phone number, text me. Let me know. And then you guys, of course, you'll talk to Giovanni and then you'll text me. So fast start equals first 10 days, and first 10 days equals your training. So the key to this whole program and why you're here early and why you're watching this is that you guys want to get off and get things running quickly, right? Get your advancement, get your income. So I want you to write down, sell 10,000 to 20,000. That's what this workshop's designed to do. How do you sell 10 to 20 grand in your first 10 days? And we've done the commissions enough here in my office to know that that's going to put you at 4 promotions and you'll be at 30-30, okay? All the way up to potentially 20,000. So here's what I want to do. In the next section, there's 6 things that people get excited about, 6 or 7, and why they're willing to work hard. Because part of this workshop is I'm going to ask you if you're really committed to come to our morning 10K coaching sessions next week. This is the first one. There's 5 more. And the more you come to, the more you're going to learn, the better you'll do with a fast start. But you have to figure out reasons why you're willing to work hard. You have to figure out, like Sahar, for example, you've got this Sunday. Oh, someone is loud and messing up the entire thing right now. And I know who you are. Whoever just joined, you just messed up the entire session. Okay. So you got this festival you're going to help mom. So why is it worth your time to hustle even around all that? And even though you're going back and forth, like, why is it still worth your time? Well, I think you gotta pull what's exciting for you from this. Okay. So let's write them all out. First thing, I want you to write down, earn 2,000 to 5,000. Earn 2,000 to 5,000. So the first reason that people want to go for a 10K to 20K fast start is they want to make a lot of money in a short period of time. Okay. And I don't know about you, but is anyone motivated by, I don't want to call it quick cash. I more so want to say, well, just moving your income really fast. Okay. So Laura, let's say 10 days from now, I say, did you check your bank account? And Laura looks and there's a comma with a 2 or a 3 in front. How'd you feel?
Happy.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's not the word. Yeah. Pump, right? Yeah. And think about this. I know that when I was in college, when I did my fast start, I had $3,500 in income in 10 days. And I know I wasn't rich, but man, I felt like it. Yeah. I felt really free. I felt really comfortable. And I was able to pay off all my bills and have fun money and start investing all within a 2-week period, which was pretty cool. So maybe that's motivating. Number 2, free product. Free product, and you can write down $1,800 free product. Here's what I do know. The business-minded people here, I was talking to Keaton. He runs 2 businesses, right? He runs 2 separate businesses, and he's got this business mind. And the business mind always thinks not now, but when? Later in the future, yeah. So a lot of business-minded people love this one because they know if I have more Cutco, I'll sell more Cutco. Okay, in fact, ironically enough, on the television, if you're from Boca Raton, you work with Luke Maseko. Luke Maseko is one of the most heralded college students in our company. He's from the Fort Lauderdale pilot office here. In fact, he ran this office to be one of the championship offices in the entire country, and that's why he's now a district manager in Boca. And when he was a rep, when he was in high school, his average order, and I don't know the exact number, so I don't want to make a number up, but his average order jumped several $100s within a 24-hour period of him getting his new products. And it wasn't that his presentation was that much different. It's just that he had more to show. So maybe that's exciting. Or maybe you just love the product so much that, hey, when you're a Mac customer one day, I know that's so far from now, but when you're a Mac, guess what you have? The best knives in the world, right? And you have it. You can say, oh, when I was in college, I worked with Jeff through college, and I got all these knives, and this is what paid through college. This is what got me my internship. This is what got me to be a nurse practitioner or a business person. So free product. Number 3, Dirty 30. So this is more long-term and flexibility of income. And Dirty 30 is when you're at 30% or higher. If you get to 20,000 in your first 10 days, you'll be at 35%. So just a side note. Okay, so 10,000 puts you at 30, 20,000 puts you at 35%. And here are the keys and I wrote this down yesterday. You can work part-time, but earn full-time. Or I think 2 or 3 of you were telling me, hey, Jeff, I really want to make a big income this summer. You might want to work full-time and make big time. So let me give you an example. Okay, part-time, full-time. So I'll use Luke as an example. So when Luke went to University of Florida, he was already at 30-30. So what he could do if he wanted to was that whole 5 appointment, right? Do 2 on Thursday after class before you go out. Friday, class ends a little bit earlier. He could get those in before it was the weekend. And then have fun all weekend, tailgate, football games, friends, family fun. And he would sell about 3 or 4. Okay. And then the average order, his was a little bit higher, 400 to 500, let's say. And remember, these are either people that he was connected with at University of Florida through friends, or with virtual, he could just do appointments with people that he has from his customer base down here. Beauty of it. And ready, when you're doing those virtual appointments, you're in your dorm room, you're in your pajamas, you're comfortable, and you're making sales. So watch this. So this was about $2,000 in orders from 2 half days, or you could just knock that in 1 day. And you guys know what 30% are. It's easy math. I would say that's a pretty awesome part-time work, full-time pay, and that fuels not just a week, maybe 2 weeks of expenses and fun and gas and everything. That's why a lot of our students really hustle, because they want to get here sooner. And watch this. Let's say you go for a $10,000 fast start and you work your what off for 10 days. Let's say the next week you decide to only sell, I don't know, let's say you only sell $3,000 the next week and you work 2 days out of the week. How's working 2 days out of the week going to feel the following week? Like easier, right? How's selling 3,000 versus 10 to 15 going to feel? Yeah, another analogy. If you run a mile, if you run a marathon, how's the mile feel? Yes, easy, right? But watch this. So let's say the following week he's selling $2,000 to $3,000, but in less days, it's the same income on less days. That's why a lot of people love having a 10K fast starter. But the example I love, because I did this, is maybe you don't want to work part-time. Maybe you want to work full-time. Okay. And this is the beauty of what we do. And if you're watching this, or if you're in front of me, watch this. Part-time, full-time. Okay. A part-time representative is usually doing about 7 to 10 appointments a week. Okay. And I know if you've ever had a job before, part-time is usually 15, 20 hours. For us, you can get part-time work and make full-time pay on 7 to 10 appointments a week. For full-time, our reps do 12 to 15 appointments a week. Now there's a bare minimum. Like bare minimum, our representatives, even if they mess up, they do 5. And then full-time, our representatives, bare minimum, they'll do 10 plus. Like even if they mess up. So what does that work out to? Well, 15 to 20 with a minimum of 12. Okay. And so why do I say that? Because if you go full time, you're doing 15 appointments. How many days do you have to work to get 15 appointments in? Do you have to work all 7 necessarily? No? You could do 3 days of 5. Right? So 3 to 4 days, packing 5 appointments a week. And here's what's really cool. Let's say you're selling $2,000 to $3,000 for the next few weeks of the summer. Were there 14 weeks in the summer? Roughly. So you would sell roughly $40,000 for the summer. And from an income perspective, that's between $12,000 and $16,000 plus. How do I know that? Because remember you met Nicole yesterday, high school senior. That's what she made by doing full time. And she was only working 3-4 full days. Unless it was a contest, then she would do more. Okay, so maybe that's something that's exciting you, either the big time income or the part-time work income with the full-time pay in the fall. Number 4, you could write down VIP night. And I know I was getting pretty pumped up yesterday about VIP night, but for 3 reasons. If you're interested in networking and getting a chance to meet the big wigs, as they sometimes say in business, this is such an easy way to meet people. What I do is I host all the 10K fast starters downtown Miami. My wife and I and all the managers will take you out in Brickell, downtown Miami. We live in the design district, so we'll probably hop around, have some fun. And part of it is the networking aspect. We invite some of our best people there. But the other part is the connection and relationship aspect. I always look at the pictures every year of people that won the 10K fast start. And it's so funny, every year, those are the people that I know really well. And more likely than not, 8 or 9 times out of 10, those people are getting interviewed for Leadership Academy. So maybe that's something you're excited about, creating that. Johnny just walked in. Same thing. When he was a rep, he was a 10K fast starter. He was a VIP night, and the rest is history. He's here now. Cool. So VIP night. Plus, I don't throw a bad party. And my wife and I are foodies. You can ask anyone who's watching, Luke and David Vargas in San Juan, Puerto Rico. We love to entertain, and people don't leave our events hungry or bored, right? Okay. Number 4, Number 5. At $15,000, you'll win the tropical trip, 3 days, 2 nights, All I can say, all inclusive, tropical destination, signature experience. You know, Vector has a wonderful way of just doing things 5-star. You know, the hotel you'll see about today at some point, you'll see it's 5-star. The event is 5-star. The experience is 5-star. And one thing I know every year, it doesn't matter who we invite, whoever hits it, whether they're super shy. We have a young lady named Piper Lepre in Naples, Florida. She's 17, going on 18. I think she's going into her freshman year of college, just graduated high school. And she sold about $15,000 for her first 10 days. So she made $3,500. And she's going to Cancun. And right, she's got one of the really quiet voice. She's not super outgoing. But then
thanks, Jeff. You ruined it. You said the C word.
I thought you noticed, but I wasn't listening. Wow.
I'll come back to that. So Piper Lepre, and it can be any type of person, right? So I think what's important is that if you've got a goal, you really have to hit that. And she hit it practically the very last presentation on Sunday night. Okay. And then the last thing you can write down is Leadership Academy. Leadership Academy. I think there are 3 of you. We were talking during the break, and some of you mentioned this to your managers, where advancement and experience and the ability to build your resume. I can tell you right now, for all those different articles that I show you, all those different what is it? The USA Today, DECA program. When people ask, you know, what is it about our program that gets people so excited? What is it that gets us to be on those articles? It's Leadership Academy. It's a chance for you to accelerate through college, gain skills, gain management skills, make a lot of money, and of course, advance into management. You know, I think of Giovanni here, who within his first year was already on a major management role his second summer, and now he's running one of only 43 offices in the country that's called a pilot. So you can do that. Nicole Rodriguez, who you met, next year, she'll be running her own Cutco office, and she just graduated from high school. So just food for thought. What I want you to do, real quick, okay, over here, and if you have this sheet, you can take it from your manager, or you can just pull out a sheet of paper. Okay. And at the top, it has all the things you can shoot for in your first 10 days. If not, you can just write on a sheet of paper. Here's what I have. It says income in a short period of time. So it's $2 to $5 grand. $10,000 is the VIP night. $15,000 is the all-inclusive trip. Next is get on the division manager's radar. That's me, for advancement. Creating summer momentum. Last 2 are in the free product, and then the Dirty 30. So what I want you to do right now, bless you, is circle the top 3. What are the 3 that get you the most excited right now? Okay, so let me go around. I'll ask a few people. Shoni, what were the 3 you circled? And I'll ask some people virtual in just 2 seconds.
15K, tropical trip.
Tropical trip.
Creating summer experience.
Okay.
And Dirty 30.
Nice, Dirty 30. Laura, how about you?
I put income in a short period of time, the TLA, and the Dirty 30.
Okay. Sahara?
I put Dirty 30, TLA, and VIP night.
VIP night, yes.
Only because I know I can't go on the trip. I would have been
All
on
right.
the trip.
And then?
I put definitely the tropical trip. Can't forget VIP night with Mr. Jeff and Dirty 30.
Cool. Let's go virtual. How about, who knows what they're excited about over there in virtual land? In Boca. How about the Nolan Boca? What's your name? What's your name, friend? Giselle. Hi, Giselle. Welcome to the team. And you go to Florida State?
Yes.
Nice. How do you like it?
I love it.
Awesome. You're from Boca?
Yes.
Cool. Tell me, what are you excited about?
I put income in a short period of time, 1,800 in Cutco products, and the 30-30.
Awesome. How about
You got one
over?
right here.
What's that? Who's that?
You got one with that palm.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Thanks, Trent.
My name's Jack.
Hey Jack, how's it going?
Not bad.
Yeah, what are you excited about?
Excited to hopefully make some money and sell some products.
Yeah. How about the things that we were just mentioning? What's most exciting? Top 3.
Definitely the dirty 30 probably.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's a big one. Here's what. Thanks, guys. Here's what I found. Here are 2 that usually always make the list: Dirty 30 and Leadership Academy. If someone wants experience, like to build a resume. Okay. So now that you know what you can shoot for, you guys see that when Giovanni meets with you, when your manager meets with you, they say, "Hey, Lisi, what are you excited about?" Like, just tell them, "Hey, this is what I want." So that way, when things are going really well, you can continue to get pumped about what you're shooting for. Already, when you're having some challenges, you'll know, okay, let me get extra coaching from the team because I still want to hit whatever my goal is. Okay. So at the end, if you take a look, here's the system. The coaching is pretty straightforward. So this is the first of 6 sessions. Next week, Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 are the rest of the sessions. Okay. So if you have any conflicts with any of them, if you have any things going on, then you just talk to your manager. But the point is, the more of these sessions we can have, the more opportunities we have to give you more training. Okay. So we'll cover that at the very end. On the back of this sheet, or if you just talk to your manager and give them your piece of paper, okay, it says 10K fast start all in. What that means is I don't have anything going on, and even if I did, I would cancel it, Jeff. You got me for 10 days because I'm trying to win everything. 10K fast start in between. What that means is, Jeff, I'm all in, but there's a couple of things I have to work around. But other than that, I'm in. Like, just help me with those few things, but everything else you got me, and I'll be in. And then the last one is just other. If you have any other situation, you'll talk to us one-on-one. Okay? So we'll collect these at the end. What I want you to do is open up your notebooks. Now let me show you how to do it. Let me give you some tips, some strategies, and how to sell more. Okay. So the first thing I want to write down is 40 appointments. Okay. From a mathematical standpoint, if you are completely average, you don't get better at all, you don't go to any extra workshops, you don't feel any more comfortable than just reading the book, we just know that getting 40 appointments completed statistically will get you to at least 10,000. Now, here's the thing I will say. I don't think anyone here should have to go all the way to 40, but it's the safe bet. Okay. We have students that will do fast starts in 30. I did it in 31. I sold 15,031 appointments. I don't know Piper Naples. She just hit it. I think she did a little under 30. We have Brooklyn Ronaldo over in Polk County. She just hit 10K fast start. I think she did just over 20. Luke is on the call. His best buddy who we recommended to the job, his name was Alex Thomas. Alex Thomas finished training on Friday, but he had to leave Monday for a school trip. So he said, just let me knock it out. So Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, from 8 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night, all he did was Cutco, but he sold $10,000 in less than 20 orders. So he made sure he hit the bigger sets. Okay. So for me, you could even do it in 5. You sell 5 complete sets, you've got 10K. It doesn't matter how you do it, but the key is you got to have a lot of customers. So let's review real quick the types of customers that we can show the product to, just to make sure it's really clear. The first one is F&F. What's that stand for? Yeah, it's friends and family. Okay. And the reason we start with those people is because you know them. I'll put a little check mark that we know them. And I'll put affiliated, or AFF for affiliated. So it's really easy to call these people. In fact, that was page, 24 from last night? 23, 24. That's the approach you used yesterday to set your first 5 or 6 appointments, or in this case, a little bit more. That's the first thing. Then, acquaintances. I'll just put acquaintances. Ready? I just want you to know this is the gold mine. Acquaintances, and then the next one will help you boom and surge your market. The reason we go to who are acquaintances? How do we describe those people? What does that mean?
Friends and
Mutual.
What's an acquaintance? People you
no, but
Know
don't
to
really
somebody.
associate.
There you go. Ready? You sort of know. Or the way we said it yesterday, they know of you or you know of them. Okay. And that's why we call those people next. But remember, we're not affiliated with them. So that's why we don't start with them last night. Now here's what I will say for all of you. Monday is when we teach you how to call these people. But if you have some really good Mac customers and you're saying, Jeff, I want to hit my weekend big. And I know if I call Miss Laura, who's my mom's old neighborhood friend who I haven't talked to in a while, I know I can get a good appointment. It's just been a minute since I've talked to her. I'll teach you today. I just say, Jeff, I got an acquaintance. Can you show me how to do the acquaintance approach? And it's actually, I think it's on page 29. We'll show you later. Okay. Then the other gear to call are directories. So that's why I was mentioning, Alicia, get that St. Thomas directory. Get the Archbishop directory, and if you get Somerset directory, whatever mom's church organization, neighborhood directory. If you played soccer, my sister played with a whole bunch of soccer teams, so I just got all of her old soccer rosters, and I just called through all the moms. Okay. Now you don't know everyone at that church. You don't know everyone who went to St. Thomas, but you're affiliated. Okay. And I'll teach you the approach later, but there's a part that just says, oh, hey, Mr. Hart's Jeff. I'm actually one of the kids from Archbishop. How are you? And right away, it's like, oh, there's an affiliation, okay? And then there's what we call pure recommendation. I'll call them recs, pure recs. These are people that we don't know at all, and there's no affiliation. Okay. I'm going to put a little cross out here. We probably don't even get to these people until either the school year for when you're trying to do appointments around school, or really winter break. In some cases, some of you won't even see these people till next summer because you'll have so many people here. But this is my first major tip of today. This is the difference between someone who has a fast start and an unbelievable fast start. This is the difference between it was really, really hard and I had to work all the way till the end versus, oh, I just did the work and I got to a 10, 15, 20K fast start. It's making sure you don't skip the acquaintances and directories. We also have a nickname for these two. It's called chicken list, right? Laura, why do I call it chicken list? Because what? Why do you think we call these the directories and acquaintances your chicken list? Sarah, why would we call them the chicken list? Because you think about calling these people you haven't talked to in a while, you might feel a little chicken. Think about that. And ready? What's the worst case scenario? Why would we feel chicken calling some of these people?
Because you don't talk to them.
You don't talk to them, right? But what's the absolute worst case scenario? What happens?
Yeah,
They say no. Already, what's worst case scenario than they say no?
they hang up.
Yeah, when they say no, they're really rude and nasty.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say I call Miss Sahara, who is my mom, my middle school teacher. Miss Sahara was so, we call her. I use the approach, and she yells at me. She says, Jeff, how dare you? And she hangs up the phone. Ready? Now what? Nothing.
You call someone else.
Nothing. Say it again.
You call someone
You call someone else. I'm ready. Now you know about Miss Sahara. Seriously, now you know. Ready? What's the best case scenario? No, the best case scenario is like a Sue Ranbaron for me. So Sue Ranbaron was my first chicken list call. Middle school church choir director. How's that for chicken? And I was 19 years old, so I hadn't had a decent conversation with her in 7 years. The only time I saw her was at church like this, or maybe after. Hi, okay, hey, I'm good. That's it for 7 years. So I picked up the approach. My manager said call her. I picked her because I knew she would be awesome, but I was just so nervous. It's weird. So I picked it up. I did the approach. I said, hi, Miss So. She cut me off. She goes, Jeff Gamboa. I went, oh yeah, and I didn't even get through the full approach. She's talking and talking and talking. She's asking about my sister. She said, oh, your sister got a scholarship for soccer? I'm like, yeah. I said, who the hell? How does she know anything? Well, talking. And then she cuts me off again because I'm starting to read the approach. And she says, wait a minute. Is this Cutco? My heart drops. I'm like, yeah, it's Cutco. Do you have, I'm reading the approach. And she says, we love Cutco. So long story short, she invited me over. Her husband was barbecuing. She already had Cutco. She bought a galley +6. Plus accessories. It was a $1,000 order. She already had it, and she gave me 22 recommendations and 21 bought. And I almost didn't call her.
Wow.
So what's the big lesson? Don't be
Chicken.
Don't be chicken. So under the banner of Don't Be Chicken, I want you to rank your top 5 chicken list. Oh, Sam. Yeah, Sam. You want one?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Top 5. So I want you to write down who are the top 5 chicken list people that, man, I know if I see her, it's going to be good. It's just been weird. It'd be weird to call her. I haven't talked to her in a while. Think of your top 5. Who's the first person, Sahar, you wrote?
I'm thinking.
Thinking. Okay, cool. Keep thinking. Who's someone? And ready. If it's hard to think, it's probably because you don't care and you call anyone. That might be part of it. But who's someone you haven't talked to in a while? You'll have to use a different script, not friends and family. Please write down, Keaton.
I talked to
I
everybody.
thought so. Yeah.
Okay, then I would say who are your top 5 people that you haven't talked to in a while? You're not chicken to call them, but it's not a friend and family member. You just have to reconnect.
My teacher.
You write it down. You can write it down. Just so you don't forget to write them. Laura, give me one person you wrote.
One person.
Yeah, who are they? Who'd you write?
The directories for my school.
Okay, so school directory,
Yeah.
right? Calling a mom from your school from Pines Charter, where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, it's been a while. Cool. By the way, those are some of the best. You know why? They love talking to students who graduate with their kids or went to the same school. Cool. Give me one person you wrote, Alicia.
I wrote down my school principal.
There you go. Yeah, it's great. I saw my school principal, homemaker, Dr. Wheatonkamp. Yep. And Montero, right? Yep. Bought a home. What did you buy? Got a set?
Some deep steak knives and a small set.
Yeah. And I met his principal. We went to the school. There's a lot of love, right? They love seeing you guys. Okay. So the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to teach you for sure on Monday. We're going to teach you for sure on Monday how to call these people. But if you don't want to wait, I'll show you today. It takes 2 seconds to look over the approach. Book up your appointments. The more appointments, the better. Okay. So biggest lesson from this section so far? What is it? Biggest lessons. Don't be chicken and keep expanding your list. Okay. Number 2, best times to make calls. Okay. Yesterday was the first time you made calls, and every single week, every single training, it's kind of a hot mess, like disorganized and free for all. That's how it feels. Like, oh my God, I need to get this number, and then you call 7 people. And mind you, you'll never wait till Thursday night at 6:30 p.m. to make calls ever again. You'll make your calls early, like Wednesday before Thursday. Okay, so the hardest phone time you've done is already over. So nice job. So let me show you the best times and the best ways to get appointments. And the first one is through phone jams. Phone jams, and you'll get about 60 to 80% of your appointments through phone jams. Okay, and here when the phone jams are: Sundays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. If you remember from yesterday, what's the rule of how many days out we book?
3.
Yeah, no more than 3 days out. So why is Sunday great? When do you book Sunday? You book through Wednesday, yeah, the first part of the week, and then Wednesdays for the weekend, and then you have a backup on Thursday. What do I mean by backup? Because more people are available on the weekend. You might need 2 shots to book your whole weekend. Okay, so here's the times. They're from 6 to 9:30, or 6 to 9, 6 to 9:30, and all those days. And the last appointment on those days, no later than 4:30. So if it's a Sunday, if it's a Wednesday, and if you're not booked up and you need to make Thursday calls, no appointments past 4:30. Okay, and here's why. First of all, phone jams are where everyone comes to the office. We talked about people working out more if you're at a gym. Well, same thing here. We make it a ton of fun, whether it's the putt for dough, golf contest, the cash grab contest, the music's going on. What did you notice last night in terms of the environment versus going home? Yeah, it's lively. Managers are here. You got the dough going on. So same thing. Here, you never want to do an appointment past 4:30 because if you do, it goes into and it disrupts your amount of appointments. But I always have one student every week who'll call and they'll say, Giovanni, I want to do this appointment. And it's the watch. Let me show you the math. Oh, well, Giovanni, I really have this good customer. They're going to buy at least a signature, maybe a full kitchen. Okay, when is it? Well, I want to do it Wednesday at 6, smack in the middle. That's when she can see me, and I want to get it in before the weekend. Well, they're not doing the math because, okay, maybe they sell, I don't know, what if they sell $2,000? Great. It's not even that huge of an order, right? So $2,000. Let's say they're Dirty 30. How much do they make? Yeah, and how many recs do they get? 10 plus. Okay, I could see why that might be exciting. But if you're a smart business person, you look at the big picture. What did you skip? Your phone time. How many appointments should you be booking? Well, you should book anywhere between 4 to 7 appointments an hour. Okay, so conservative, let's call it 5. So for 3 hours, how many appointments did that person not book? 5 times 3? 15 appointments. How many of those appointments should they sell on? What percent? 60%. That's 12. What's the average order even if you mess up? 300. I'm pretty sure $3,600 is bigger than 2,000. But they want that one order. Oh, and by the way, this is where it really kills them. It's not just the 3,600 that they missed out on. What did they miss out on?
15 more.
Another 150 more recommendations. Just shot himself in the foot.
They also missed out on not everybody's going to buy the minimum.
Yeah, that's low. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So, food for thought. That's number 1. Phone jams are huge. And if you do it right, here's what I found. When you have our most experienced students, usually get 60 to 80, sometimes all of their appointments just from the phone jam. The second one, we call these AM calls. So in the morning, you should get roughly 10 to 15, sometimes 10 to 20% of your appointments here. And this is Monday through Friday. (7:30) to 9:30 a.m. Remember, don't act, think, and speak like a college student. And college students sleep until late,
Like
11 noon. Okay, ready? Max, when are they up? Yeah, not all. By the way, not all. Like there are some moms that sleep in too, and there's some. My mom was a nurse, so it's reversed. Like she would sleep in during the day, and she's working at night. But most customers are usually up between 5 and 7 a.m. So when you catch them at 7:30, it's the perfect time to get a hold of them. That's why, by the way, our 5 10K coaching workshops are Monday through Friday, 8 to 9:30. Because that first hour from 8 to 9, we're gonna give you give you a chance to make phone calls. So it's kind of like, hey, you're coming to meet your personal trainer, and you got to meet me at 8. Don't be late. What are they gonna do? Make sure you work out. And then from 9 to 9:30, we'll give you the coaching, we'll give you the tips, we'll give you the things that'll help you sell and make more money. Okay. Number 3, I'll put down any day. Pretty much any other day, 6 to 9 p.m. works, okay? Like evening calls. And then one extra one, Saturdays. I don't recommend the 7:30 to 9:30 on the weekends. On the weekends, I like 9 to 10 a.m. on the weekends. So Saturday, Sunday. So any day of the week in the evening after 6. Then Saturday, Sundays, I like 9 to 10 a.m. Now, ready? If you know someone's up earlier, in my household, we were a soccer and basketball family. If you called our house at 9 a.m. on Saturday, we're already out of the house onto the first of 6 games. Like you wouldn't catch us, but conservatively, 9 to 10. So if you are making phone calls and it's anything outside of this, I would say you're probably wasting your time and don't do that. Like if I have a rep saying, hey, Jeff, Giovanni, can I talk to you? I'm just having a hard time getting appointments. What are you doing? Well, I've been calling. When did you call? Like Friday. When? At like 3. Unless a customer tells you, hey, honey, call me at 3 on Friday, I would stick to these only, just to make it really organized, okay? You want a little secret sauce, hot sauce tip? Power hour. Write down power hour. You want to have a really productive phone time? Make sure you put an hour every week before the phone jam to organize all your names and numbers. Remember what you did last night? Yeah, do that once a week or twice a week. In fact, at advanced training tomorrow, I'm going to have you put in your schedule, but our top reps will pick one appointment, not do a Cutco appointment, do a organize my numbers appointment with themselves before Sunday, and then do another one before Wednesday. So they always have organized. So you'll come on Wednesday, you'll see this. When you come to the team meeting, you'll see the reps that already work here. They're already organized, and they don't waste time. They're not flipping through. They're not calling people for numbers. They're just, Sahara knows this from her job. They're just calling, right? And then while some people who aren't organized are just trying to find everything, they're done all their appointments. They have time before the meeting. They go get food. They come back. ready for the meeting, and they're chilling. Everyone else is struggling. Okay. What's the big lesson here you're taking from this? What are you learning? What are some light bulbs?
Time management.
Time management. What about it?
So you have to really focus on your time.
Yeah, and be efficient. Work smart. Work
Be
smart.
organized.
Say it again.
Be organized.
Yeah, be organized. That's a big one. Okay. Okay. Last few things. Let me put miscellaneous tips, and then I'll teach you how to sell the complete and the signature sets. So we have a cool technique called 5 before, 5 after. 5 before, 5 after. Here's what that means. 5 before, 5 after means during a time where you need a lot of appointments, whether already fast start or any type of big contest. This isn't for all the time. This is just for big contests. To make sure you're booked, in addition to this, let's say I'm going to go see Miss Sahara, my aunt, or my neighbor, let's say. In the driveway, before I do the appointment, I'll make 5 quick phone calls. And if you remember from yesterday, what's the ratio? Yeah, so by making 5 phone calls, I'm most likely to get at least 1 appointment booked. If I do 5 phone calls before an appointment, and then let's say finish up, I sell her a galley plus 6, I sit in the car, I'm a little early, I'll do the same thing. I'll make another 5 phone calls, and I'll probably set another. So if I do that for 10 appointments, I'm already booking another 20. Yeah, I'm booked. Okay. I don't do this all the time. Like me personally, when it wasn't a contest, I never did that. But if I was trying to hustle, I knew I was trying to win a trip, I was trying to go on a VIP night, I would make calls in between. And sometimes if I was really early, if there was traffic, I would pull, no joke, I would pull into a McDonald's or a Chick-fil-A, get the chicken sandwich, right? And then I would make a couple of calls while there's traffic, and I'll let the traffic go and then go to my next appointment during contests, okay? I didn't do that all the time, but just for contests. Next one. You guys remember this? You can write down 10, 80, 10, please. Remember this? What's this mean?
10%
What's that?
80% median, 10%.
It's 25, right? Ask for 5 back. Thank you. He's done?
Yep.
In and out?
Yep.
Fast car wash.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So 10, 80, 10.
10% low.
10% low, 10% high, 80% in between. Here's what I'll say. I said this the other day. When you come back on Monday, all of you, when you come to advanced training, 10% of you won't even have hit your first promotion. 80% of you will hit between 1 and 2, and 10% of you will sell 3 to 10,000 or more by Monday. And there are 2 factors that will determine how high you go, right? Number of appointments. Okay, 3 factors, I'm sorry. There'll be number of appointments. Did you show your top 5 right away before Monday? Okay. And did you focus on MAC customers? Okay. Who got the most appointments? Did you see your top 5 before Monday? And were you focusing on MAC customers? Okay. That's in addition to the 4 things that you have to do every appointment. Right? I'm not even going to write it down. You should know this, right? You have to make sure you follow the manual. Make sure you're having lots of fun. Cut food, and make sure you call the office for deals. That's assumed. But those people that do this makes a big difference. So here's where 10, 80, 10 takes place. I want to talk about the low 10. This lesson's about proper perspective. If you're one of these students, odds are 1 or 2 of you will be below 1,000. That's totally fine, because as you're watching this video, if you're in front of me, how long is training?
10 days.
10 days, not 2 days. So don't make any prejudgments on how the job works for you, if you can do this or whether or not you're going to be good in 2 days. I call it the 10 push-up rule. And I'll put 10 push-ups. Okay, let's just say, Sahara, I know you're an athlete. Let's say my wife, Heidi, is your personal trainer. She says, okay, Sahara, we're going to put you on the 100 push-up workout for the next month. And she says, we want to get you leaned out for the next competition, and you're going to do 100 push-ups a day for 6 days a week for a month, and then we'll track. Okay, cool. Let's say Sahara works out the first morning. She's like, all right. She does 10 push-ups. She gets on the scale. She texts my wife. She says, Heidi, it doesn't work. Yeah, it's fun. It's funny, right? Why is that funny?
It's not really because
It doesn't do anything. And what does 10 push-ups do? You don't even sweat. Like, I know, you definitely don't sweat. I mean, 10 push-ups doesn't do anything. That's like a student coming in, right? I said, oh, how are you doing? And I always get this. I can always tell I'm going to have a 10 push-up combo by their face when they walk in Monday. Hey, Jeff, can I talk to you? Right? And I already know what they're going to say. And I say, what's up? Yeah, I don't know if this job. And how many appointments have you done? 3. And I just go like this. 10 push-ups.
It's all about the muscle.
It's all about the hustle. It's all about the numbers. It's 10 push-ups. Because ready? If you don't get ready, 60% closing ratio means what? 6 out of 10. If you've only done 2, we don't even know. Let me give you a great example. One of my favorite is Colleen Rippey. Colleen Rippey, first appointments, she went 1 for 6 for like $70. I don't remember the number. It was so low. She went 1 sale on 6. That's really, really bad. And she came in. Hey, Drew, can I talk to you? I sat down with her, frustrated. And I said, look, you haven't even done your first 10 appointments yet. And she said, fine. Okay, no 10 push-ups. I got it. So I told her, you can do it your way or my way, because you didn't call in, you didn't cut food, you're not doing anything I teach you, and you're already telling me you can't do the job. She's like, okay. I said, you do it my way for the next 4 appointments. She left that training. On Monday, she left that night. She went 4 for 4 for about $5,000. What if she had stopped at the 6? So overall, she was what? 5 for 10 for $5,000. I'd take that. But she almost stopped after 6. I don't think anyone here's going to do that, but just in case it's you, 10 push-ups. Make sure it worked really hard. You got to focus on getting to your first 10. In fact, here's what I will say, a little magic spice for Monday. Anyone that doesn't get at least 5 appointments in, you have no right to even talk to me about whether this job works or how you're doing, because I have no clue. I think you didn't even get out of bed to do 1 push-up on 5 appointments. But when you get to 10, then we can say, all right, well, Sahara, it looks like your average order is super high, your closing ratio, but let's work on recommendations. Like at 10, we can evaluate. But until you get to your first 10, we can't evaluate. Until you get to your first 5, you haven't really even started the job. Cool? Any questions on that? What's the biggest lesson from this and all this?
At least try.
At least try. Well, do the job the right way.
Put in the-
Yeah, and put the numbers in.
put the work.
I've yet for someone to do their first 10 to 15 appointments the way we teach them and didn't hit 1 or 2 promotions. Like statistically, it's impossible. I would say this to our managers. You can't eat well, work out, and then get fat. The body won't do it. You can't work out and eat well and get fat or get in shape. It doesn't work that way. Okay. Last thing here. It's true. Try it. It's like, oh my gosh, I've been eating really well and working out, and I'm gaining so much weight. It doesn't work that way. Okay. Last thing, I want to teach you how to sell the bigger sets. Uh-oh. Got it. Okay. Can you guys see in virtual land? Yeah? ¿Está bien? Okay. So this last part, I want to spend teaching you how to sell the signature and the complete more than the homemaker. Okay. So a couple of quick thoughts. Remember, what's the first set that we sell that we offer the price on? The homemaker. What's the price? It's only $12.73. On the payment plan, it's only $275 a month. And we'll talk about prices in just a second. The number one way we sell this. Now, the advanced way is that you show them all the pieces, you get them really fired up about these right away. But we sell so many homemakers and signatures and completes your first 10 days by doing this. Getting them excited about the homemaker, calling us, and we get a discount or a deal, and they get this. That's the number one way we sell. Because, for example, let's say Sahara's my goddaughter, right? I don't care what she says. I'm going to at least get the set. I'm going to help her out. But if I know that she's got a contest, oh, how much is, okay, you can give me that. I'll get this one. It's not a big deal. I think, and I don't do much fast food, but you know when they say supersize, right? I'll take a number 2. You go to a fast food place, I'll take a number 2. They always ask, would you like to upgrade? Would you like to get the value size? How many of you have ever gone to a place like that? You weren't thinking about it, but because they ask, hey, did you want us to upsize it? You go, yeah, sure.
They said 70 cents, and you're like, ah.
Yeah, because if you're going to spend $5, what's $1 more? You see that? It's called the easy upgrade. There's a business term for that where if you're going to spend this much, what's this much more to get a little bit more? It's nothing. But if you do that over multiple times, it adds up. It's the same thing. Would you like to get the homemaker today? Oh yeah, congratulations, Ms. Sahar. You're going to love your Cutco. Before I wrap that order, let me show you the sets that come with the steak knives. But first, let me check my office real quick. You call the office. Okay? So that's the first thing, some perspective. The number 2. So in other words, if they're excited about the homemaker, most of them might as well get the signature complete. We're gonna do the prices again just to show that. Number two, it's important for you to be comfortable with the differences between the two sets, okay? Or three sets rather. So you've got the homemaker, you got the homemaker here, you got the signature, and you have the complete. This is a set for people who what? Have to cook. What does it mean if you have to cook? You have kids. Okay, that's what this means. And then you have the nicknames. Remember these?
Yeah.
So the paring knife, this is for up in the air. This is the trimmer for what stuff? Small stuff. Spatula for what?
Sandwiches.
This is the meat knife. Okay, this is the serving piece. What kind of stuff?
Big stuff.
Hard stuff. Okay. This is the veggie chopper. Bread knife. Holidays and barbecue. And how often do you use the table knife?
Every day.
Every day. You got it. We'll review it. So that's the basic. Just think of it this way. This is the car, homemaker. This is the car with the nicer rims, only 3 more tools to signature. And this is the car with all the features. Okay. So let me give you a way to explain it. First of all, the homemaker and the signature. Homemaker complete. You can write this in your notes. First of all, we don't call it the ultimate set. We call it the complete set. Because how does complete set compare to ultimate? Well, how does ultimate sound?
Oh,
Scary.
A lot scary.
A lot of money.
Okay, but this is the complete set, softer. This is the complete set. Here's what the complete set comes with. Ready? Basic car. Watch. Basic car, but it's got all the meat and veggie package. The meat knives and the veggie knives. That's what the complete is. It's the homemaker set, the basic one, plus the meat and the veggie. Signature. What's this one? Watch. So we used to have the homemaker and then the complete. And then we asked customers on a survey years ago, if we had to make a set in between, what would you do? And they picked between all the meat and veggie knives, they picked their favorite 3. And that's what the signature is. So ready? Homemaker is the basic. The complete is the basic with the meat and the veggie knives. And this one just has 3 of the most popular meat and veggie knives. I'll show this to you in 2 seconds. There we go. Okay. So here are the 3 tools that come. Okay. In the signature. First of all, you have the Hardy Slicer. So let me give you the nickname for this one. Hardy Slicer. This is the most aggressive tool. You can write down most aggressive. Because it has the double D edge at the bottom, but it's shaped similar to a veggie chopper. So think, instead of barbecue, the meat before you cook it. Hardy Slicer. Okay, Hardy Slicer. It's the most aggressive knife we have. So we have knives in the basic set for cutting the barbecue after it's cooked. This would be before you even put it on the grill. Okay, think hard pepperoni before you even put it onto the pizza. Think something that might be really tough to get through. Then we have the traditional cheese knife. The traditional cheese knife has the thermoresin handle versus the gadget one has the soft grip. Okay. Notice it's got holes, so obviously it's for cheese. So you can write down cheese, but the cheese knife is also for compressed foods. Compressed foods. So what's a compressed food? Let me give you an idea. Any fruit that you cut where it's wet on the inside, it sticks to the knife. So think apples and potatoes. You ever cut through an apple and the apple sticks to the knife a little bit? Because it's wet and compressed on the inside. The holes keep it from sticking and it falls off. So that's the traditional cheese knife.
Is that the knife you would use to cut the grapes?
No, the knife, I'll show you later the grapes. I would use the trimmer. Yeah. And then this is the Santoku, Santoku. It's a Japanese term. Santoku, Santoku. Santoku. This is and here's the description. It's the 3-in-1. That's the nickname. 3-in-1. 3-in-1. So if you look at it, it's got 3 parts to the blade. Okay. First of all, it looks like a veggie chopper. And the blade, if you look, it's a straight edge, but if you look really close, it's rounded at the bottom. It's not straight through. So it rocks a little bit. So there's 3-in-1. Back, middle, front. The back is a mini veggie chopper. It's a smaller version. This would be for like garlic, like chopping up garlic. The middle, since it's rounded, it rocks back and forth for herbs. So think cilantro for your guacamole. And at the front, it's got this really sharp point. That's for butterflying meats. So let's say I have a chicken that's too thick and it only cooks on the outside. I'll take the point. I'll go like this. It's thinner and it'll be easier to cook through. So that's the 3-in-1 knife. Okay? So one more time. Ready? This is the homemaker. This is the set for people who what? Have to cook. What does it mean if you have to cook?
Yeah.
You have kids. The signatures if you like to cook. Like to cook means I have kids, but once a month I'll have a party. Okay, how many more knives are in the signature?
3.
3. Which one? We have the Santoku, which is the 3-in-1. Cheese knife, which is for cheese and compressed foods. And then the hearty slicer, which is our most aggressive tool. Okay. And then we have the complete set, not the ultimate set, which has the basic set plus which packages? The meat
And
and the veggie packages. Okay. And 1/3 easy way to sell the signature and complete has nothing to do with anything I taught you. Is get them pumped up about the steak knives. Why? Because you can only get the steak knives in these 2 sets. Okay, so let me just do a quick review. So this is the table knife, and there's the steak knife. I just want to let you know these do the exact same thing. These are both awesome everyday knives. The only difference is this is the knife where when customers gave feedback, when they wanted a traditional restaurant-looking steak knife, they just wanted that. It's more material, it's more money for the set. So how do you get them excited? Well, first of all, do your best to win a steak knife as soon as possible, okay? And you'll learn how you can win that. But number 2 is make sure when you cut the leather, and then say, now, Mrs. Jones, we also have our steak knife. Make sure that you see the steak knife, they fall in love with the steak knife, okay? So just a quick review. Get them excited about the homemaker, and then we just upsell. Okay, number 2, have to, like to, love to. Number 3, these 2 come with the steak knives and the scissors already. This doesn't. And this one has how many tools more? 3, and this has the meat and veggie package. Okay, last thing. Let me give you some perspective on price. And let me put this up on the television real quick. You guys can see this. Okay. Take a look on your screen. I'm going to show you. Desktop 2. Okay. Here. The prices real quick. So we have the homemaker. $12.73. What's the monthly payment plan? $275. You remember a week? That's 70, roughly 70 per week. Okay, let's take the signature. What's the price of the signature again? We'll do the table knives.
1914.
$19.14. Miss Alicia, payment plan monthly?
412.
$412 weekly?
103.
$103. We did this yesterday. And then complete set?
With the table knives,
Uh-huh.
26.29.
Uh-huh. Week monthly?
565.
$565 and
141.
$141. So I'm going to stop this for a second. So if you look, okay, you've got a homemaker for $12.73, signature for $19.14. This is table knives, and then complete set for $26.29. The payment plan is $275 a month, $412, and $565. The weekly is where I really want you to see. Okay, what is $70 a week to a college student?
gas, food.
A weekend.
Yeah.
How many of you have stretched $70 over a weekend? That's what you spend on, and if you go to 100, you went baller that weekend. Like, oh my God, I spent all my fun money.
Yeah.
It's $70. You go to a movie, there's 30, 40. Okay, gas, there's 40, 50. Okay, so if you can afford that, what's $70 to a Mac?
Gas on one car.
Gas on one car, yeah, for the week. Okay, nothing. Can't even get groceries. This is, let me get my kid who did a good job with their grades. They got straight A's. Let me buy him Madden. Let me get him the game, the video game. That's one video game, okay? But here's what I'll say. If they're going to get a homemaker, this is why it's so easy to upsell. Oh, yeah, honey. Sahara, well, congratulations. We'll definitely get that set. Okay. Well, before I show you that set, let me show you the two other sets with the steak knives. Let me call my office first. Then you show them. Just this is the part I want to emphasize. So if I'm gonna get a homemaker, I can afford $70 a week. It's only $30 more a week to get the signature, and it's got three of the recommended tools, and you get the steak knives if you want. Right? And it's only $60 or $70 more to get the complete set. And we did this yesterday, right? What's $141 a week for a Mac family? Eating out at like at Chili's once a week. You know, like it's like Thursday or Friday. Mom doesn't feel like cooking. The kids are going crazy. Dad says, let's just go to Macaroni Grill. Well, you got appetizers, $10 a piece. You got a meal for everyone, $15 for 2 kids and mom and dad.
And a drink.
Right? And then the drink. Mom and dad each get a drink. Right? That's $120. Then what do you have to add? Tip, $25 gratuity. You're already at $150. You can afford a complete if you just don't eat out once a week. No dessert. I didn't even do dessert. That's right. No dessert. Or beer dessert for that. You see that? Why am I showing you this? Because I don't want you to act, think, and speak like a. Yeah, I just want you to see how affordable it is. And ready? The last thing I'll say, if you really want to compare it, every kid and their mama in society now has one of these things. Okay? Or some other version of a smartphone. We're an iPhone company, actually, pretty much. We all have iPhones, okay? iPhones. This is what, $100, $200? I'm joking. How much is this? $1,300 without contract, right? You just get the phone. And if you get a contract, they'll discount it to
$9.99.
$1,000. Yeah, discounted. If you sign a contract, sign your life away. I mean, right?
No,
It's $1,000. Okay. Ready? Everyone has one, and whether the kid, student, high school, whether they bought it or who bought it, mom and dad, and they bought it for every kid.
Plus the case.
Oh, I'm not even going there. Oh, no, I'm serious. I'm not even going there. I'm saying just the phone.
Yeah.
And then ready? Laptops. So when you go, and how ironic, our prices are almost identical to what a MacBook Pro 13, 15, and 17-inch cost. Like this computer's the 13, it's the price of a homemaker. The 15 is a little bit bigger. I don't like the bigger screens. I travel a lot. 19. And if you want to get the big one for DJing or graphic design, you get the 18-inch MacBook Pro, and it's this much. And ready? Apple's always empty, and no one's ever buying Apple, right? Have you ever been to an empty Apple store?
No.
Ever?
I wish.
And have you ever seen, like, do this game for 1 hour, go to Apple, count how many people walk out with a brand new iPhone or brand new MacBook. Right? And ready? Most of the time, mom and dad are funding that. So when we say, Mrs. Jones, you can get one of these sets, it's not, oh my gosh, all this are knives. It's no, can you get another MacBook or phone or something you use every day and lasts how long? Forever for your child or for your family. Got it? Okay. Hey, if you're watching virtually, I want to say thanks for participating. I want to take official roll call here. Let me take a picture of you guys since you guys are. If you're on the share screen, just give me a big smile. We got 6 offices represented, and you guys can smile too. Ready? 1, 2. Okay. Hey guys, you're gonna get my phone number later. When you get to your first promotion, send me a text so we can start networking. Okay. Have an awesome first weekend, Memorial Day, and welcome to the team. Thanks, everybody. Cool. That was fun. Okay, let's do this. We're going to start kicking off your chances to get more people on the phone. So if you just came in, I'm going to find out how many more appointments you got since you came in since you left last night. For right now, all you have to worry about is booking your next 3 days. So you've got any openings today, Saturday, Sunday, and you can also book Monday, okay? If you need to book Tuesday, you can. Just make sure if you really have to. Like, try not to. Keep it within Monday. And every time you get an appointment, same thing. In fact, I'll just raise your hand. We'll do the same thing. I'm going to put some instructions on the board. Do me a favor. Don't worry about the instructions on the board. Get your appointments for right now. And I'm going to come around one-on-one to take a look at your schedules while you do this. Okay? So I know everyone has a question or your schedule. I'll come around to each of you. And so will Giovanni. Okay? Music up. Not again. It's the third time. How's it look?
I didn't go inside. No, outside looks good. You've seen it
Real quick. Who came in later? Does anyone have appointments that they got after they left last night that we didn't put up? Okay. Giovanni, when you come back, please paper towels, and also if we can find tape.
You want to Yeah.
If you have any acquaintances you want to call, give me 1 sec. When Giovanni comes in, I'll have him over.
We're not in the show.
You guys, if you want to call acquaintances, page 29, just look over it a little bit, and then you can call. You're lucky I like you. I can charge you $30 for that. I usually only get one replacement. But for you, Sean. I'm just kidding. Nini, you don't want that name. You don't want that name.
I got a Sean.
Yeah, that's more fun. He's like Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh, so what I was doing.
Oh, this kid never.
Okay. I go to you. So I say like half of the schedule. This again, Blue.
Give me 1 sec. Giovanni can help you. 1 sec.
Michael A. I'm doing well. What are you up to? Oh, okay. I have to ask something really quick. Okay, so the reason I'm calling is because I started a great job at Cutco. And Cutco is like a line of high quality kitchen cutlery. So as part of my training, I'm required to like put on some initial training appointments. And you don't really have to buy anything, but I get paid just to show it, and I can show it through like a virtual appointment with you. And I'm in a really big contest where like the more money, the more sales we get, like the more the more like gifts we get, kind of like when we reach 10,000 sales, we get like a tropical trip, and we get an opportunity to go to like this leadership academy that was really great for my resume and everything. So I wanted to know if you were available sometime this weekend. Okay. So,
It's for this new job that I got. And it's installing like cutlery knives for the normal office.
well, it's like 45 minutes. I can call you like in the evenings on your phone, not like during the day, like at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
What we would do, we split up these systems.
Here's
some grand.
The Saturday at 9 work.
No, not bad. Not bad. I might got up early.
Okay. I mean, I just have to
Like,
put
you
down a
never
set
up this
time
early.
because I want to keep track of how many like set appointments we have. The 9th? Okay. All right. Thank you. But now this goes out. All right. Bye-bye.
Let me just check my car real quick.
Yeah, he told me he didn't put any, like air fresheners.
Me, that's not me. That's you better ask about it. Oh, because you're not getting out of bed. That's a different thing.
Fine, so I'm good too.
I tried to help you, Sebastian, but you know that didn't work out. So. No. Awesome, thank you. Hi, Sophie, how are you? I'm doing good. I'm just calling you because I just started a good job showing Cutco. Oh, I got a job showing Cutco. It's a Highline Quality Kitchen Company and a few outdoor items, so I'm sure you already have like a lot of items, but I just didn't show it to you. So as part of my training, I'm required to put out some initial training courses, so you don't have to ask
Get it?
like it needs to just to show to you. So I'm going to
Hi, Auntie Beverly. This is Sahara. This is Sahara. Sahara. How are you?
Oh, you did that.
Do you know? Wait. How are you?
Okay, so
This is Sahara, Allison's daughter.
Yeah, I can probably help you.
I'm good. How are you?
This isn't my phone. This isn't like, I just have like my contacts.
I'm good. I'm taking summer classes here right now.
Did you like go make your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't
How are you doing?
Yeah.
Good. So the reason I'm calling is because I started a great new job showing Cutco. And Cutco is a line of high quality kitchen cutlery, and I'm sure you have a ton of knives, but I get paid just to show it to you. So as part of my training, I'm trying to put in some initial training appointments, and you don't have to buy anything. But like I said, I get paid just to show it to you. So I wanted to do like 20 appointments by Monday to hit my goal. So I wanted to know if you were available sometime this weekend, maybe Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, I need help.
Oh, I love how you're doing.
Yeah.
It's most of my friends.
We can help you with that.
Yeah, most of my friends are.
Okay.
They're not even up. To people that I can call, they're not even up right now.
Okay.
Right.
And the schedule, I have my schedule.
Okay, I'll call again.
It says, for him, it says 10, but he usually gets there at like 8. I'll have to.
Yeah. He doesn't have to be there, but it's a demonstration, so like you guys will both like to see it. And they're really good knives actually. So if you guys know anybody who are looking for, okay.
So,
And then stuff
cool. Yeah, so, right, this will be
Okay,
here.
thank you.
So,
Okay.
Saturday, you're saying you need to drop them off or pick them up?
Yes.
What's your situation for Saturday?
So it's because during the week I don't want to get that phone.
Yeah. So, what you're saying something to help you
With because this is my phone. Because if I have my old phone with all my contacts,
Right. Right.
I would also have
Right. Yeah. So,
and I don't have social media because it.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and I haven't been home. It's like I can't go home at the moment.
Yeah,
for the
okay,
Wi-Fi.
for sure. So, what we'll do is we'll maximize the CM anyway.
Yeah, I have
Right, and then you'll be able to push your once you get all these contacts on there too.
So I could do it virtually.
But who would maybe have the contacts for you? Like you're talking about your friend?
I'm not because the old phone that I had, I was paying up. So it
Right.
was my phone, but it had broke. So we have to do the insurance claim.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah, they take it.
second one,
Yeah.
yeah. So basically, it was my phone, so it was my property, basically. So I just have to pay. And I didn't back it up. Yeah, I backed it back up. Because it's a Samsung, that's why I have iPhone.
Right.
I really have Samsung, but I'm
Yeah.
getting an iPhone.
Nice, congrats.
Thank you.
Okay.
So that's just a little issue.
Yeah, that's good. We'll work around that. So, right, so what were you talking about, like the car situation? Do you want me to like map that out, or do you have that pretty set?
I have it pretty set in stone, like that's okay. It's just like I would have to do it years. It doesn't understand.
You mean to get Monday, Tuesday,
Yeah, I
Wednesday?
do have these contacts.
What day, what time?
Yeah.
Today at 8:30.
Nice.
So you're saying you
How-
get
what-
those
another one?
from him? Yeah. You'll be able to get
Saturday
Cool. So it's Monday or Tuesday. How could he not today, obviously. How could he or tomorrow, Tuesday, also do so? Probably calling tomorrow.
I got my principal, he's traveling, he's traveling this weekend, he'll be back late Monday night, so like I set an appointment with him on Tuesday
What time?
and get my 5.
Is that right after the SLDM?
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's
That works.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good one.
For sure.
Yeah.
So.
That's the Archbishop principal? What's their name?
Mr. G.
So I have to do it and he was also in my first like, so I can train.
He's Haitian.
He used to like
Maybe.
You probably.
Yeah, because what I try to do, I'm
Okay,
trying to
cool.
do
So
a
you're
speaking
doing-
tour to all the
Yeah.
private
He was
schools.
closer to be like.
Like St.
Yeah,
Thomas.
talk to him because he's like-
Tell him your Cutco manager
You guys- you guys
Okay.
will-
is like teaches business to students and tell him super duper Catholic.
Yeah.
And that'll
Yeah, for sure. So
Have you
Oh, I've
seen
seen
that's
him.
married on the phone.
have him. Yeah, tell him when you meet him. My boss is talk about DECA and all that.
Okay,
He just
yeah.
wants to.
I'm
He
gonna
wants.
take a picture of him.
Tell him he wants to speak
Cause he.
to all the.
You know, this would be the ideal first appointment. So I'd say, I'm trying to think, is there somebody, you can always do him like a little later, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And tell him I don't want to. It's not. I want to confirm it. Public speaking.
Yeah,
help. Public speaking. Interviewing
Yeah.
skills. Public speaking skills.
So maybe one of these, maybe not.
No, my dad, my mom, and she's too on me. Even though she's technically on, they're not technically on because she's under 30, but she has her husband has a business. Him would also be there and he would also show how my contacts that I saw. So tomorrow, basically, I would probably be doing all these contacts. I
Yeah.
was texting.
Pardon me, real quick. So while you're doing that, can we just check your top 5?
Yeah.
Like just in a normal PC, and I'll put the stuff on the board in a second.
For sure.
I could get contacts from all these people, which is the fine thing.
Yeah. I'm trying to, like, your mom will give you recommendations.
Yeah.
You'll be able to get anything like
Yeah.
that. You weren't able to, like, outside of this.
No,
Right.
that's not.
Hello?
Yeah, for sure. So no worries. I mean, we'll get it sometime. Tomorrow we're gonna talk to them.
Hello?
And I'm gonna teach you like the recommendations of the appointment. So a hot sauce tip for that is just give them the they're gonna have to talk to people. You just wanna give them.
We'll also
I'm
be
good.
sure
I'm just calling
Yeah.
because
that
I
was also
my
something
job,
I'm
so
really
Petco,
not
and that's why
There's
my friend have a
also
Friday.
but he starts at 9 o'clock. That's kind of an issue because
Huh?
I don't like it's really
I said the reason I'm calling
I
is
just don't
because
want
I started
to
a
I don't
job
want to
showing
drop
Petco.
Do you think if
So
you drop them off,
as part of my
you work it
training,
on?
I'm required to
Right,
start
right.
coming to
Yeah.
those
Put it right there on, so you can only like
So
to
they
drop
don't
off
have to
time.
advise it.
And then what time do you get out?
You have to do it like
Um,
virtually.
Well, when the sun goes
I
down,
want to
basically
do like
the work site is you can do it at 5, but the owners didn't have enough to let me stay there for hours.
Right. Yeah. So you did till about 5 years, and what you doing?
Yeah, so as long as you have like a laptop or something,
I
I
take
can
it
do
off
like
and
that.
I have to do it.
On your back.
Yeah, for sure. So I'd say advanced training, 3:30 appointment, and then probably pick them up.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Schedule it like Friday at 8:30.
Hi, Jen. How are you?
go drop them off.
I'm doing well. It's been a while. How are you doing, like, with everything?
Yeah.
That way you can do your
She's good. She like just came back last night from. She's traveling.
You'll get done around
Okay.
5. You'll pick them up, then you can probably-
How's Chrissy?
I'm back
You
home.
pick them up here, and then
No, she's
drop
not.
them off, and then you can go to your next one. So
Wait, I want to get her. Does she have Instagram? I want to get her number.
What do you guys do?
Yeah.
Who's that? Is that-
It's okay. It's just like this one.
Oh, yeah, you
like,
can.
Yeah, I'm a school. I'm about to be a senior. I know. I'm about to graduate.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you
I'm
think?
planning to
Yeah.
like to
Yeah.
get my
If
master's
I-
of nursing to be a nurse practitioner.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing volleyball. My team's doing pretty
Plus, I
good.
know for people looking at my stuff.
Yeah.
And I know a couple people that do like.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk to her. What school does she
have
go
their
to?
own business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's just really good.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, we'll work around that. I mean, what you want to do is you want to still, obviously,
Yeah.
be training and get these under your belt. But I'm saying that we.
BU, like Boston University? That's a good
training
school.
Like, you definitely want to maximize.
Is she
it.
playing?
And
Is she
we'll
playing
teach-
sports?
Yeah, we'll teach you. Like, we'll teach you when you get phone numbers. Like we'll have you call. Other
Yeah,
people
oh,
and
wow,
train,
okay.
also set up some more appointments. So
That's really
here,
good.
you're gonna have all recommendations.
I'm sorry.
You're
I
gonna
want
be able
to.
make
Yeah,
calls.
could you? I want to reach out to
And
her.
here,
Okay.
like try to do appointments.
Well, the main
here,
reason
that way
why
you
I'm
can make
calling
phone
is because I
calls here,
started a
with these phone calls
new
here,
job showing
and then
Cutco. I don't know if you heard about their product
but you
before.
don't have that contact here, so even if you don't have your phone yet,
So Cutco is
you'll
a.
still have names and numbers from mom, dad, you know what I mean?
Is it the what?
These people, your mom and dad's numbers.
It's a CUTCO. It's a line of high quality kitchen
Then once you
cutlery.
get your phone,
And they have a few
probably
outdoor
Monday or
items.
Tuesday, like you said,
But I'm sure you have a tons of nice. But as part of my training, I'm required to put on some initial training appointments.
but
You
the
don't
numbers
buy
get
anything,
from here,
but I
the
get
ones
paid
you
just to
wanna get
show
them.
it. And we're also
For acquaintances.
we're
So you'll have
and we're
things
also
here.
in like
Make
a
phone calls
like
here. Monday night,
big
we'll go
contest
make
based
sure you
on
have
like
something from
commission
Monday,
sales and
If
everything.
not, we'll teach
But
you
I
how
want
to
to do 20 appointments by
Make sure
Monday to hit
you're
my
there.
goal.
Because you and Ashley look kind of like.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's
So,
like pretty
The other
hardcore
thing I
right
do
now.
too is if
So
you have-
I wanted to know if I could stop by this weekend
She gave me
to
some numbers, like, if
present to you.
really want
Valley
that,
doesn't
you
answer
can
the phone,
sit
so
here
you
and
can
call
just-
and see if you can book any for like Saturday and Sunday,
Yeah, 'cause for what? She's actually adorable.
Oh, really? For vacation or for work? Oh,
She
okay.
does answer the phone, but she just laughs. Well, she calls me crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't, you be careful.
What are you
with your
doing?
presentation.
You're traveling a lot.
Any cool place.
I started a new job in Bradford, the one,
If I was my friends aren't doing, you know what I mean? So what you
What?
want to do
I'm
is
sorry, I
make
missed
sure you
it.
get everyone's number, and then specify, hey, I get credit for everyone.
Yes, I am not kidding.
Oh, wow.
So if you know anybody in your family
Okay.
other than your
So
mom,
that's how you get.
Yeah.
You
probably don't want
to.
That's cool.
5 friends over. Well, honestly, I'd hang out with them. Don't
Okay.
avoid just hang out.
anybody
And
other
say,
than
hey,
your mom
Jenny,
that
we
may
need to do
actually
an
like you
appointment at
guys.
a time, like something, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't rush it, do something. And then you talk to all your friends and then get their numbers too. And that's good.
Regular friends,
That way you
they
have
are
client appointments.
Okay.
And not one.
1273.
If you have one, you want to get credit for one?
Okay,
Not to
cool.
mention,
Thank you.
You got 5 appointments, 5
Right.
sales, and recommendations for each. And that's a lot. 5 sales and 6 recommendations. Whereas here, you'll get
And I'll
have it
see
this,
if I
you will
can,
teach how to do presentations because it's a lot more than any questions on this person, I just started up and like kind of overwhelmed. So you want to make sure that, you get here and it's like a bunch of people, and you just want to hang out and then make sure you get scheduled for other time. You just get their phone number.
That's what I'm calling you because you know
That's
people.
probably get here, I think. So it's just multiple people, and I just,
Yeah.
so I want to have to do this right here. It's like, does that make sense?
You wanna set up an appointment?
Saturday at- I like the early ones.
But if anything, it should be like 6.
All right, and you said you're coming on the 31st.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
This is it. Once you finish training, there's nothing. Everything will be flexible. That's what
Do I have to sneak you on the graduation too? Because I really don't feel like it.
But it feels like a lot right now. Once you finish.
Yeah, I know, but you know
We get an
about
opportunity.
she's like offering everybody a
We
ticket.
got
So
you.
now like Ashley wants her boyfriend to go, and she's like, I need to see like Ashley.
And I was like,
Yeah, you got it.
I talked about sneaking myself into graduation. I didn't talk about other people.
It depends, different colors. Yeah.
Who knows, man? Make sure don't be like you. If you push it down the flight of stairs.
We're your top 5. Boom. They get me dancer. Look at the stress getting to me tonight. That's the worst thing.
Yeah, we Laura, she's got a phone.
I think she's trying really hard not to.
She's getting
She's trying really hard not to invite your dad.
So she need a bunch of numbers now.
Hello,
Go around.
is this Rodrigo? Hi, it's Laura.
No, graduation's big. They don't want to sit on
It's Jose's daughter. What are you doing? When are we gonna go back to the gun range? Ah, you went there last week. How was it?
Hey, now.
The graduation is my job. I don't need to clean it up after y'all. You're working? Oh, you're working.
Please look at this one.
Well, the reason why I'm calling is because I just started a great new job for Cutco. You know what that is? You know what that is? Yeah, it's really good. Okay. I'm gonna read the script to you and then is that okay? Yeah? Okay. Alright. As part of my new training, I'm required to put on some initial training appointments. You don't have to buy any because I get paid just to show it. I want to do 30 appointments by Monday to hit my goal. So I wanted to know if I could stop by on Saturday at 5 p.m. or Sunday.
Hi, Laura.
9:30.
Tara. How are you? It's been a while. I know.
So
I
how
know.
about-
I'm back home for the summer. I'm here all summer. Go to my tattoo
I
artist,
did
please. Don't get
that.
fucked.
It was crazy.
I know. Seriously, I know. We need to have do something. I miss everybody. How's everybody? How's
What
Erica
about
and
Monday
Jameson?
at
Bison?
7:30 or 9:30? It better not be too hot. Oh my god, you're busy man. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know you're so busy. I'll call you later, okay? And
Yeah, I'm gonna be senior. I'm planning to get my master's in nursing, so I could be a nurse practitioner.
Yeah, next week.
So, thank you. I'm still playing volleyball for my school. Like last season, we did so this week 16. So the birthday.
Alright. Bye. Have a good day. Bye. I will. Bye.
I enjoyed it. It's taught me a lot. Like honestly, like the state is not my favorite. But it's a sacrifice, and I'm gaining more from it.
Put you down as a
So I like it. I'm blessed to be there.
It has to be done in somebody's kitchen, so let's want to do it at your grandma's house.
No, Laura, she needs to go there. She wants to do drama.
Yes,
She wants
ma'am.
to, what
A
does she
whole
want to do?
45-minute presentation.
Yes. You need to for me, I'm majoring in psychology. I was pre-med, but I dropped it to nursing school. That's Carnegie Mellon is more of a engineering, computer science, and drama, and
It's nice.
arts. The arts is great. And I'm sure they have a complete different life than the other students. But I know the drama students there love it. Yeah, it's a good school for that. The only thing is she might have to deal with the weather too. I had to she got seasonal depression because it's gloomy and cold and everything. That's the biggest change. But I know that school, the art school, the fine art school, it's people there are really, really cool. Really different group of people.
I was talking about my schedule, and I told them I can't
That's a good place too. Yeah, but you should. But talk to her about it because honestly, I hate to say it, but Carnegie Mellon, the name also, Like there's people that graduate from CNU and I see them on like Netflix. Like it's no, it is. And they have like, but anyways, so I hope she's applying this year, right? Okay, wow, it's exciting. I'm excited for her. How's Erica doing? I haven't talked to her in a while. I know. No, I'm gonna tell her. I'll tell her.
So I would have to, because if it's at 8, I would have to.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Okay, well, on that note, the reason I'm calling, because that's perfect actually, but the reason I'm calling is because I started a new job showing Cutco. I don't know if you heard about Cutco, but it's a line of high quality kitchen cutlery, like knives and ice savers and everything. And I'm sure you have a ton of knives, but I know you guys like to cook. But so as part of my training, I'm required to put on some initial training appointments. And you don't have to buy anything, but I get paid just to show it. And I wanted to do, and there's like a contest where they have this like, I get paid based off like commission sales. So like when I sell like $1,000 in sales, like 50% of that, I will sell like $3,000. So we're trying to get to, I'm trying to sell $10,000 in sales by Monday. Well, in the first 10, I'm lying. In the first 10 days, so like next week. Yeah, and they say it's pretty feasible but it's like based on like recommendations of me, so I can like reach out to. But I wanted to know if I could come by sometime this weekend. And as part of my to come by and then do initial appointment. And I just have a key appointments. Okay. No, I understand.
Yeah, so if it's possible, I'd like to say, so virtual appointments. Okay, so you can look this Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday, or Monday night. So I have Saturday. Well, let me go Pacific. So Saturday I have appointments. I have open like 3, 5, and 7 o'clock, and Sunday like morning I have at 8 a.m., a 10, and a 12. And Monday I have like a 3:30, a 7:30, and 9:30 afternoon. Yeah.
Okay, I will.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
I'll just
Me too. I'm really miss you guys.
Oh yeah, if she's willing to
Okay. Are you
oh yeah, that's right. So I just put both of you on my phone.
We're gonna go to Starbucks.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. All right, I'll call you back on Sunday.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Right. Okay, you too. Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Liza has a mask. It doesn't look you want me to ask? Yeah. Not what? Not what?
I mean, if you get crystal tonight, project tonight, they give you recommendations. You would see.
I don't know. I thought You get my phone back. Just gonna have to show you.
She's not. Yeah.
So you can call her. I know.
Perfect.
Check.
Yeah, you got it.
I got two more for you.
No, come around. Got one? Yeah. What day, what time? Go. I have 3. What day, what time? One is Sunday
Hi,
at
this is Sahara.
4. One is Sunday at 12.
How are you
One
doing?
is, and one's Monday at 4.
I'm good.
That
It's
was
been
the
a
only time it's
while.
gonna be virtual. Perfect. And after eventually I need some money. If you still want those.
I know.
So just
How
walk- I'll walk you
is
straight through real quick. I got that.
So, see what we got.
So today, when I get home, I'm gonna go perfect to my mom. Perfect, grandma. Saturday, I have class until 4:30.
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
That way you don't get confused.
Okay. And then right after class, I'm gonna go see my
Oh,
aunt.
it's okay. I was just calling
And then after that, I'm gonna
because
go
I just
see
started a
my
new
best
job.
friend's
So
mom.
Oh,
Happy.
so started your
What's your grandma Mac? Definitely, she wants the best for me, and she cooks a lot. A lot.
What do you think she was?
I think she's probably gonna buy.
Oh, so it's Cutco, so it's a line of like high quality, like kitchen
You
get a
cutlery.
private
So
job?
it's
I think I'm gonna try to sell her the second one, but I do know that she would have to buy the first one because
Let's do it. Awesome. That's a money customer then. Awesome. We're going to start off and then mom.
Oh, so it's
my
a
mom
line
is
of
trying
high
to redo the
quality,
full
high quality
kitchen,
kitchen
so I'm
cutlery.
kind
So
of
like
gonna
knives.
push her to the complete set.
See what she
And
does.
she, once she sees the
Yeah.
steak knife, I think
Yeah,
she'll sell
so
it
you don't
because
have
the
to
steak
buy
knives
it.
are so, they're plastic, they're
Yeah.
so bad.
For sure.
Yeah,
Mom's
so-
a good customer as well. So you got, here's the thing, though. When you
I have to see my mom.
get some sales.
Hello?
Get your first promo. Keep it.
Hi,
That's
girlfriend.
good one there.
Yeah, so like, like.
How you
I'm not
doing?
so sure I'm not,
Very-
she is married,
Wow,
but she
I'm
never
good as well.
does. She does.
So the
she
reason
does
I'm
have
calling
kids.
is because I just started a new job showing Cutco.
Not really. I think they might
And
go for like the
Cutco is a line. Cutco.
I have not.
Cutco.
So what a lot of
Cutco is a line of high quality
Here's the
kitchen
thing.
cutlery, and I'm sure you have a tons of knives, but
No, not
as a part of my training, I'm required to put on some initial training appointments, and with you, I can like put on a
They're
virtual
also
training
redoing
appointment.
their kitchen.
You don't have to buy anything, but I get paid just to show it. So I wanted to do 20 appointments.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, we'll go and see what happens. But it's definitely something.
I wanted to do 20 appointments by Monday because we're in a big contest, and we also get paid based off like commission sales. So the contest is like it's called the Fast 10K Jumpstart. So basically, like in the first 10 days, they want us to sell $10,000 in sales, and we earn between $2,000 and $5,000 a week.
Nothing.
So, yeah, so I wanted to know if I could find a
I'm
time.
gonna go see her at 10 a.m.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, this is my dad's side. I'm gonna go see her at 10 a.m. Right after she gets done. with
Well,
her
tomorrow I have.
ceremony. Yeah.
Wait, tomorrow's Saturday. I can't do tomorrow morning. I could do Sunday morning or
And
Saturday
we're gonna go to
afternoon.
lunch, and then after lunch, I'm gonna bring my presentation to her house. Show her the demo at her house.
Okay.
For what she's gonna
Okay,
No, I'm
thank you.
100% sure. Because they've been capital
Yeah.
but I think that she would more likely
Hanging out with
support-
Keith.
You sure?
Yes.
I think she would more likely support
Oh, yeah.
and maybe just do like the half to
We'll see. We'll see. So go work there and it's something you guys can do all the time. Okay? full confidence.
I have two virtuals, so this one is virtual. And this
Today we're
one.
gonna go over the virtual. Today you'll know how to do it.
Yeah, she
The thing I recommend is before you do them, just walk through them.
she was
Okay, yeah.
You're a little bit familiar with it, but you'll be good at it. George, good sense.
All right.
He is not married, but he loves to cook all the time. He cooks dinner at parties all the time.
Good. Who'd you get with?
She's the prime minister of Barbados.
What's your purpose?
Yeah, I'll take
From
it.
there. You go home often?
Yeah, I go once a year. My mom does a show in December.
On the church. I'm cool with learning school and not the
but it's
So, so I have like some people that I think will buy, but like my family, like I'm not confident in like that. Like I feel like they're not gonna buy it.
Are they max?
Huh? Yeah.
after the
But like I
first-
just feel like they're just not gonna buy it.
Well, what makes you say that? Are you prejudging?
Kinda. Not really. Like they might. My mom might.
but I don't have-
Even my mom is skeptical. She's like,
Yeah, of course.
knives and everything, but I don't know.
But I think part of it too is, it's like the athlete when you go in. It's like, okay, well, I don't know if we're gonna win today.
Mhm.
That's kind of already setting you up for a
Yeah,
kind of
essentially, it's
slower
basically
start.
what I
But
was-
here's what I do know: if they're a Mac customer and financially, and you have a lot of enthusiasm,
Mhm.
Obviously,
you know, and you call us. That's why if you feel like you want to juggle it around and put your first two people that you feel really excited about, because like here's what I'll say: I can take one of my most experienced reps, like our best reps. So show it to your mom, and your mom will buy a lot from
Yeah.
them.
Mhm.
But for you, I want you to get that sale, and that, there's a confidence that comes from doing that. Now, don't get me wrong. There's 60% right now is the chance of doing it, but
Like I know some people like I think like Mr. Jean, like I know he will
Yeah.
buy.
But I think part of it is you're already saying, what is it that's under Mr. Gene that puts him under the, oh, he's going to buy. And why is mom under? Just because of what they've said.
Mhm.
Like over the phone, I'm skeptical, right?
She'll buy. I'll tell her like she'll buy, but like I don't know. I feel like
It's like, what's causing you to put them under the maybe they won't buy? Because right now, like, you don't even know.
I don't know.
Yeah. And it's kind of like if you're in a volleyball team and you're about to go in and one of your team members says, hey, what if we don't win today? Like, what if we just, I don't know, maybe we should, what's wrong with you? That's kind of the same thing. In a way, like, it's like but also you're new.
Yeah.
You have to remember that you're new. You're just getting started. I'm not concerned. Now, if you feel like you need to shift around and the first 2 appointments you put 2 other people that you personally, for some reason, have more confidence in.
Yeah. I mean, I'm good
Who's
with
that?
them. This is
How about
my
this?
friend
Take out how you know them. What do you know about them? Tell me about them. I don't know anything about them. Who is she?
Sandra. She is I played with her daughter all through like high school and volleyball. And we're like really close friends. We could travel volleyball together.
Okay, so
My mom
there's
and
already
her are very,
easy
very
relationship.
close.
Fun,
Yeah.
easy. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What does she do?
They're married, but like her husband just had like a random like heart attack
How recent?
recent like 3 weeks ago. He's better now, but she was excited to see me. She was like, "Yes, come, bring it." Like, so
I do it.
okay, and then
And ready? I'm not going to say this to the whole group. My first appointment, I sold one night. And this lady had 6 kids. Big,
yeah.
like 6 car garage. Like she lived in Baltimore. All the
That's
Raven.
why I
Yeah.
wanna like my aunt Lisa, the one I was talking about. Her husband is rich. She lives in like
Where do they live?
where does she live? Oh, okay.
Like Broward or Miami?
She lives in Fort Lauderdale. It's really nice. I forgot the name,
Yeah.
but like she lives next to these Russians and they have this big house and like so like I'm hoping like with her, I'm seeing her on Saturday, like she'll be able to like give me a lot of recommendations and everything. So I'm like in my head, like I know some people like I know the people who I'm gonna get recommendations from, and I feel like that will
But
help.
also, you just have to remember, just don't prejudge.
Yeah.
Right? And then, by the way, it's natural.
Yeah.
Like Miss Alex Dale is my first appointment. I was like, oh, she's gonna buy the whole book. She has 6 kids, 6 cars, everything from one night. Went to my next appointment, sold $600. Like, oh yeah, it's better. And my parents were like, no, bought a homemaker, no problem. So you don't know. But I'm gonna be talking to you for the whole weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Tristan, we're done back into training. So why don't you give what's okay,
They're available Monday or Tuesday.
you can figure it out.
I'll get out
Okay.
Friday tomorrow. Will be good for us to
Now,
See back tomorrow.
here's the thing.
She's beautiful.
You need to understand that a lifestyle is for
Yeah, come on, right up there.
it's not just a I'm gonna get something and then disregard. Because on credit card, it's not about that.
So we'll make sure you confirm that.
Which is what Discovery is good. Tomorrow, go talk about our options with the bank. Or we could call customer service, ask them questions. But I don't really like customer service whatsoever, but it's going 100%, but it's going. I'm actually calling out. Okay, but you cannot, it's in the past, and it is what it is.
Hey, Ash.
You're busy.
Make sure you're
That's
I know. You don't have to tell me.
Are you driving?
You don't have to tell me.
Okay.
I feel this song.
So I started a new job
I really like this song.
showing Cutco, and Cutco is like, it's a line of high quality kitchen cutlery. So, wait, where are you staying? Are you staying with your mom? Okay. Do you think she'd be okay? So basically, but I know you're doing like interior design and all that. So I wanted to know if like you know any like families or people like moving into like their house, if you can like give me recommend me to them because I'm selling Cutco, and basically I could present them like through virtual. It's like the best line of knives and cutlery and stuff like that, and I could give them a demonstration through the virtual appointment. And I'm in this big contest. Well, it's called Fast Start. So basically, they want us to sell $100,000 in sales, and I earn between $2,500 a week. So I just need.
The last time, like,
Huh?
when I was on, it was like
A link? Okay, but if you know anyone like specifically that I can reach out to, okay, hold on. But like by like this weekend, for like in the next 10 days. But I have to like schedule appointments like 3 days before. Okay. I'm gonna call your mom. Do you think she'll be interested?
you had to like you could just tell it wasn't like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, they wouldn't know.
Okay, bye. Thank
Like
you.
he's stupid. He's one of those. He has done that. Yeah, he has done that so many times. I mean, if anything, you should just get a lick on it.
Yeah.
You could play with it. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Cool. Good stuff.
Right, he gave me all his time.
You go, Nice, yo. You wanna grab your
No, you know, I will have to talk to him.
Yeah, that's more
I am a police professional.
we talked about it.
Very nice. So my father says when I got here, midnight.
Hey, don't be afraid to check. Give me a call. I'll be able to help you. Yeah, for sure, son. You got what I wanted. Got you, got you. Hold on. You can start it back.
Even though he got divorced from my mom, he likes to spend a lot of money.
You got a customer you gotta get?
I know his cards are. No, that's a people that popped out my card. They're like, oh, extended card insurance. And I'm like, I don't have
Okay, cool. So you guys want to talk?
it. Yeah. He wasn't, but now he kind of is because I have a problem.
You booked yet?
Hey, so here's the thing.
No, the
So this is from today, right? 3?
Yes.
Okay.
next ones I need to call or at lunch in about 30 minutes.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm okay. I was gonna ask you, David Mira, he lives in Florida.
We're learning virtual rights today.
I mean, you pretty much know it.
Who?
I have 2 of them.
I can call him. I'm sorry, I'm not coming to my head right now. Can I?
You talked to Sarah about a schedule. We need to walk through.
Okay, can I call? Oh, I'm gonna call him.
I'm not sure. I was already prompting her.
Okay.
I'll look at it.
Keep booking Sahara. I'll go through your schedule and then we'll.
Okay.
All set.
Oh,